Yo guys, welcome to the video. What is going on? So this will probably be my last video of 2023, so happy new year to everyone. Another good year for the channel. We're at 432 subs now. Would be really great to push on in January, February and get to that 500 subs mark. So if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel and let's get straight into the video. So it's been over 10 years since Joe Flacco led the Ravens to that Super Bowl victory against the 49ers, where he was the Super Bowl MVP. He turns 39 in January. And let's not forget, not everybody is the same as Tom Brady. A lot of quarterbacks are well past it, coming up to 40 years old. He's never given up over the last few years. It was an injury that ultimately saw his downfall at the Ravens and saw Lamar Jackson come in and take his place. He's since been at the Jets twice, at the Broncos where injury cost him as well, and at the Eagles backing up Jalen Hurts. Now, I keep saying this, I still don't see the AFC being represented by the Ravens in the Super Bowl. I know that's probably quite a bold statement now, given their record and given that impressive win with that monster defensive display against the 49ers, but I'm still not sold on them. I'm still not sold on Lamar in the playoffs, to be honest. He could certainly prove me wrong there. And I think that in the AFC, there's a very strong chance for a team from the wildcard week to really push on and challenge any of the top seeds. Obviously, Kansas City don't look the same. They're certainly not going to have the home field advantage throughout the playoffs, which is usually massive for them. But the team just doesn't seem to have the weapons, doesn't seem to be firing as much this year. And question marks, obviously, still over the Dolphins and Tua. They've certainly got the explosive players there to get deep into the playoffs. But can they prove themselves against big teams and against winning teams? Obviously, they got the win over the Dallas Cowboys. But as we know, the Cowboys on the road are not the same entity as they are at home. So I look at the wildcard week and I think there's a real opportunity for a team to come from wildcard week and go deep into the playoffs. Obviously, a lot of momentum around the Bills at the moment. If they can keep winning, get themselves into the playoffs, they could be really tough for anyone to beat. Then obviously we have got the teams like the Browns going into the playoffs. What a story it'd be. Joe Flacco, 38, soon to be 39, taking the Browns into the playoffs. So many injuries this year, so much adversity to overcome. Defensively, we know how strong they are. They have been all season long. And all of a sudden, that offense is getting going. I think the offense is exciting as it has been for a number of years in Cleveland. And going into that wildcard week, there could be some great matchups in the playoffs. At the moment, the Rams are due to go to the Lions. So we'll get Matt Stafford against Mr. Jared Goff. That could be a hell of a matchup. And let's not forget Joe Flacco, if he plays the Ravens, going up against Lamar Jackson, the guy who took his job. Obviously, he's playing the Jets tonight, which is, again, a team he was at before. Be very interesting to see if he can get the job done and keep this momentum going. And if we're going all out fairy tales and the Browns did make it to the Super Bowl, imagine if they go up against the Eagles and Jalen Hurts, the quarterback he sat behind a couple of years ago as well. There could really be some great stories in the playoffs this season. So back to that matchup tonight against the Jets. Obviously his former team, Trevor Siemian now leading the Jets, and they did have some offense last week against the Commanders. Jared Wilson has proved solid for whatever quarterback's been under center for the Jets this season. And Breece Hall sparking one of those really impressive rushing and receiving games for a couple of touchdowns as well. And this is a really tricky defense for Joe Flacco to face as well. He has had a few interceptions since he's taken over. Obviously, he's been putting up huge numbers in the touchdowns as well and got them through the games. But against the Jets, they've certainly been able to shut down a lot of quarterbacks this season. However, you only need to look at the numbers. Who would have thought Joe Flacco and Amari Cooper would be the hottest quarterback wide receiver combination over the last couple of weeks? Don't think anyone would have been calling that at the start of the season. With the Bengals next week, if they manage to get a win there as well, the Browns could certainly be going in as the number 5 seed into wildcard week, meaning they'd play the lowest ranked seed of the home teams in wildcard week. So most likely they will either be going to the Jags, Texans or Colts. And obviously that Texans matchup could be so much different with a healthy CJ Stroud out there. And what a fun game that would be. The rookie CJ Stroud going up against the veteran Joe Flacco in wildcard week. And Flacco does have 3 games in a row of over 300 yards passing. Guys, I don't know if that's ever happened in Cleveland before. Let me know in the comments below if you think it has and who that was. Yeah, very exciting times in Cleveland, and wouldn't it be great to see them in the playoffs and get a run going with this kind of fairy tale story that kind of echoes the Nick Foles Eagles from the Super Bowl run a few years back, where they had that epic win against the Patriots. Guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of the Browns? What do you think of Joe Flacco? Do you want to see them go on a run? As a Chargers fan, there's not going to be any team I'll be supporting in the playoffs now, but I would love to see a team from wildcard week go deep, and what a story it would be for the Browns. Guys, give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.